in the studio, I'm delighted to welcome Emily Charlotte, a freelance writer and editor based in Cornwall. With a master's in writing for young people and creative writing degree from Falmouth University, Emily's work has been recognised by prestigious awards, including the Bath Children's Novel Award and the Searchlight Writing for Children's Award. She's also a founding editor of Paperbound magazine, an online platform celebrating children and young adult literature. Whether it's through her own writing or supporting others on their journey to publication, Emily is passionate about storytelling that connects and inspires. Emily, welcome. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
It's so good to see you, and you are looking gorgeous today. I have to say, I feel very underdressed here in jeans and t-shirt. I didn't obviously didn't get the memo.
Thank you.
Let's start from the beginning. What first drew you to writing, and particularly writing for children and young people?
So, I always loved English. English was my favourite subject at school, always loved it. But I never really saw myself as a writer until I was 12 years old. And a bit embarrassing, but I had a dream about McFly, the band.
Of course, as you do, yes.
I'm sure you would have heard of them, and probably your listeners too. And never really liked them that much before, but then had a dream, decided I was meant to fall in love with a McFly band member, so I started writing my own stories where I could fall in love with them. And that's a very embarrassing story, but where my writing came from and where it all kind of stemmed from. And then writing for children, I never really saw myself as a children's writer either, but then I did my undergraduate degree, and that was all loads of different styles of writing. And I decided that I really wanted to write teenage fiction. And I didn't want to leave university, so then I went on to a master's, and it was based on writing for young people. And they had a course that was based on writing for children from like board books and picture books all the way up until teenage fiction. So I kind of got to see all of it and experience all of it and write a lot of it. And so that's kind of how I fell into children's writing as well. So I've got, lots of fingers in many pies.
You do, don't you? And it's not one of those things when you see the careers advisor and you say, I'd like to be a writer, I'd imagine they'd be slightly taken aback because it's not like a normal choice, is it? It seems to be something out of reach, but really it's not because we can all write and we all have stories inside us, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can write, and we write every day, whether it's a shopping list or, a journal or anything. And the way that I started writing as well was by journaling every day. And I just loved the act of it, and I would spend hours in my bedroom journaling. My mum was probably quite worried about me because I spent all my time in my room writing, but it is what I love to do. And
But words are so gorgeous, aren't they? Especially if you look at the root of them and how you're using them. I get very excited when I find a new word. Is that just me, do you think?
No, I get very excited. And, kids are taught now in school, always use a dictionary, and that's how I was taught. And I'm very happy that they are still taught that now. And we can all do that as adults too. We always are going to come across words that we don't understand because language is always evolving. So we are always learning new ways of writing and new ways of language.
No, that's great. And your work has been recognised by some impressive awards. What have those milestones meant for you as a writer? Oh, that was a lovely smile.
They were very, very exciting moments, particularly the Bath Children's Novel Award. Being longlisted or shortlisted for anything like that, or having a notable mention, means that I'm going in the right direction to where I want to be. And I've had short stories and poetry published and articles, but my dream is to be a novelist, and I'm not quite there yet, but I will be one day. And those milestones really make it more concrete for me to be able to achieve that dream. And I'm not there yet, but I am getting there. So it's nice to be able to share, my experience with other people as well through my workshops and things that I do with other authors. So it's very exciting. Every little win is a big win.
And it's also good to get you recognised with peers and other publishing houses as well, so to have your name out there and in the spotlight.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre experience. I was very shy at school, and I'm still quite shy now, but I just pretend not to be. So it is odd seeing my name out there, but really gratifying as well because I have worked very hard. over
No,
the
it's
years.
good to see hard work, rewarded with those awards. Are there many awards throughout the season? Are there particular special ones that you'll sort of navigate towards?
Yeah, I mean, my advice to anybody who is writing and wants to have their work out there is that there's always something to submit to. And as long as there's always free ones, and there are ones that you can pay to have your work entered into as well. As long as you're not breaking the bank by submitting to everything going, then there's always opportunities. But I always think that Miss Lexia Women's Writing Prize is always a big one, and any Bath Award is a big one as well for the industry. And there's always new ones coming up too, so there's always something to submit to.
And if you just fancy just writing some poetry, you can often submit to an anthology because that's where most of my poetry is published, and that's free of charge, and you get a possibility of getting an award from there. So that's always options available, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's always something out there for people to get their hands on.
So you're part of the Corners Writers Anthology Cornwall Beneath and Beyond, which was recently nominated for an award. Can you tell us a little bit about your contribution and what being part of that project was like?
I am part of the Cornwall Writers Anthologies from the very beginning, so
Wow.
I've been lucky enough to have 3 of my stories published with them. And this recent one, Beneath and Beyond, Cornwall Beneath and Beyond, was nominated, and it was a really exciting announcement that kind of almost slipped by me, but then I got nudged in the right direction and realised, oh, that's exciting. So it was really, really lovely. But the process of being involved with them has been really kind of world widening, if you like, because it's allowed me so many other opportunities. And my story in that publication is based on I'll get it right, my great 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 granddad, and it's a story based on him because he used to live at Rhetoric Mill, and my story is called Dusk at Rhetoric Mill. And he was one of the only family members who stayed in Cornwall when the rest of his family, siblings, whoever, they all left to emigrate to New Zealand in the 1800s. So that's where my story kind of became inspired from. And then I kind of wrote, well, what if he stayed? And because he did stay, and I'm always obsessed with romance. So what if he had a long lost love who had to emigrate, and then what if he never saw her again? So that was my story in that publication. But there's so many in there that are really, really lovely and brilliant as well.
And you're also a paperbound magazine, which sounds like a wonderful initiative. What inspired you to co-found it, and what kind of work do you publish in there?
So it's an online magazine, as you said, dedicated to children's and young adult writing and illustrations. So we publish short stories and poetry, flash fiction. We do open for scripts as well, but we've never had a script given to us. So if anybody's listening and wants to send a script to us based on something for a young audience, then please do send it. We dedicate most of our target audience to upper middle grade, so that's 9 plus, up to about the age of 18. And we publish biannually now. It used to be quarterly, but biannually. And what inspired me to create it was I finished my master's in writing for young people at Bath Spa, and it was such a strong year, a strong cohort for a lot of people getting published and a lot of people getting book deals. And I thought maybe this was my chance, I could be one of them, but not quite yet. So I was a little bit disheartened, as you're going to be, because I had quite high hopes. And I said to my 2 closest friends on the course, why don't we start a magazine? Because I miss writing, I miss doing anything that's based on writing for children. And we could start our own platform and interview authors and share knowledge and skills and advice for writing based on that audience. So they said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And we do it all for free. It's all out of our own time. We don't get paid. We get donations that we can then put towards lovely prizes for our chosen winning authors that submit, or illustrators. And it just kind of stemmed from there, and it's a really lovely publication, and I just love it so much. But it does take a lot of time and effort, but I wouldn't not do it for anything. So
I think it's also the fact that when you're writing, it's so much solo art. It's really good to have those networking opportunities and see what everybody else is doing out there and chatting to other authors so you can get that spark and get that inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Writing is very lonely, and when I was growing up and I decided I want to be a writer, it was because I was very not sheltered, but I didn't really want to go anywhere. I was very, stereotypically Cornish. I didn't want to leave. I tried to leave once, it didn't work out, and I came home. And I thought, I want to be a writer because you can do it anywhere in the world. So that means I never have to leave home ever. Whereas a lot of people would think, I want to be a writer. I can go anywhere in the world. I could go to all these countries, but I just wanted to stay at home. But it can be lonely, and you do need other people. So having that network of people and other writers, even if they're not writing in the same genre as you, is really important.
No, that's really good. Now, another string to your bow, the multi stringed, multi talented lady I have before me, you are also an editor and you help authors on their path to publication. What are some of the common challenges writers face and how do you support them?
I think a lot of writers and authors come to me with different requests. So some of them might be, looking for an editor who they don't know if their work is any good, and they've written a novel and they want to see is it working before I send it out to agents or publishers, so I can help them edit their book and say, well, this is the strong points, this is maybe you could work on character. Or they come to me and say, I want to self-publish it, I'm ready to go, I just need you to proof edit or line edit, and I can do that. I've had a lot of non-fiction authors as well. I've had RAF authors, I've had army authors um, on their experiences within the armed forces, and I've had navy. So yeah, it's very exciting working with so many different people that I would never usually come across. So it's really gratifying that they think that my work is good enough for them to want to invest in. So yeah, there's so many different avenues that I have helped people with and continue to do so. So it's really gratifying.
It must be such a joy to listen to people's or read people's stories. You were very lucky.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you come across stories, particularly like the non-fiction stories. There's been some navy antics that just made me laugh the whole way through reading them, and I would never have experienced that or gotten privy to that information because ordinarily I wouldn't necessarily pick up a book that is based on a navy life experience. But being able to get behind the scenes of it is really fun. So yeah.
Now, if you weren't busy enough with that, you also have a passion for your creative writing courses. Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I run in person creative writing courses and individual workshops, and I've worked with different venues. I used to run them on Lady Daphne Sailing Barge, which I think you're familiar with. Because
Absolutely.
you've had Sam and Andy on here before, and that was really fun to have a team of writers who were below decks, and we're all floating along on the water, and there was a bar on board, so we could have a cocktail while we wrote, or we could have a wine or whatever, or a cup of tea. I always had a cup of tea, and it was really a really fun way to connect with writers for a 10-week course based on writing your own novel and getting it ready for publication. And some of my authors from that course have gone on to publish fiction novels, and some of them have been longlisted themselves for the Dyslexia Novel Writing Prize, which was amazing. And I've also done a course on writing for children, which was meant to be based on Lady Daphne, but then Charlestown, the gate got a little bit battered, so we had to relocate, and that was in a lovely cross-stitch studio in St Austell. And more recently, I will be offering workshops at Will Martin Clayworks Museum, and that's based on heritage writing workshops. So people get to come and explore the grounds and have a private guided tour with a really knowledgeable volunteer guide, and they're all lovely. and then they can come and spend some time with me afterwards and write something inspired by what they've seen and the history of, Cornwall and the heritage of the area. So
I think it must be quite inspirational seeing someone develop during those courses as well. From sometimes you must be quite scared to put pen to paper, and then just seeing them flourish in writing reams for you.
yeah, it is really exciting to see that. And I recently did a workshop at Saltash Library, and it was a free workshop, and people could come, and it was based on nature writing. So I had some prompts there. I had images of birds, or tortoises. There was things like that, and domestic or wildlife creatures. And some of the people there had come from St Anne's Care Home across the road, and there was quite a lot of them. We had to bring up more tables,
Oh, yeah.
which I wasn't expecting, and more chairs. And some of them, they don't write ordinarily, and it gave them a chance to sit down and write. And there was one lady, and she was just writing reams and reams, and it was really nice to see, because they said, she doesn't usually sit down and do that, so it felt like I'd helped in some way. And even, a writer who comes to me for a 10-week course, at the beginning they can be like, I don't really know what to do, I don't know what to write. But then through feedback from everybody else over the 10 weeks, and through private feedback from me and tips on the industry or wherever they want to take it forward, they are much more confident by the end of the course. So yeah,
It sounds like it's an absolute joy for you as well.
I love it.
So, what's next for you? Any upcoming projects that you're particularly excited about?
So I will be working with travel writer Paula Rooney, who you've also had on the show.
We love Paula.
So Paula has written 3 travel books so far, or published 3, and she's written quite a few more, so she'll be publishing a new book by the end of the year, and I will be helping her edit that one, so I'm excited to do that. And I will also be, as I said, working on the workshops with Will Martin, which is starting in September, so if anybody wants to book on, they can do so on my website. And in October, the beginning of October, on the 1st, I will be at Loo Literary Festival of Words, and I'll be running a workshop which is free, I believe, on how to edit your book, which is one I've never done before, so it's brand new, and hopefully people will come. And I'll be getting married in March, so from about
Congratulations!
winter onwards, I will be stopping individual projects, but I'll still be doing workshops, because I probably should focus on getting married and all the buzz that goes with that.
So, that's just so lovely. I love the whole romance aspect of it. It's just so gorgeous. And finally, Emily, where can people find out more about your work, Paperbound Magazine, or get in touch if they'd like to connect with you?
So if they would like to get in touch, I'm available on Facebook and Instagram at Emily Charlotte Editorial, all one word. And my website is emilycharlotteeditorial.com, and you can see a little bit about me, and how to get in contact. And I do need to upload some images of the authors that I've worked with as well, just to be a bit more clear on my website. And Paperbound is paperboundmag.com, and all the issues, all the back issues, they're all available, and they're all free. So all you have to do is click a button, and then you've got about 60 pages of content of beautiful artwork and writing prompts and advice. And the new issue that we've got just released has got Philippa Gregory in it, which was amazing.
Well done, that's a coup.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wow moment for us. So yeah, check out paperboundmag.com.
Oh, I could chat to you forever. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure hearing about your journey, your work, and the passion you bring to children's literature and the wider writing community. If you missed any part of this interview, or you want to hear it again, just head over to our catch-up section on our website at chaos.radio. Now, what should we follow a writer? It has to be Natasha Bedingfield and Unwritten.